Hi, a Rosie math teacher coming at you from 4th period accelerated 7th grade math. We are working on lesson 10.1 today. It is vertical and adjacent angles, and you will find it on page 147. If some of this video is not helpful enough, I encourage you to go through all the teaching pages in your book to help you learn. However, in the meantime, I would like everyone to please write the following reminders in the open white space on the top right of your page. Please write an angle that looks like this. This is called a right angle, and it has a measurement that is 90 degrees. A right angle always equals 90 degrees. It will always be marked with this universal mathematical symbol. It doesn't look quite perfectly straight, but you get the idea. When you see a little box in the angle that you are looking at, it means it is a what angle, class? Right angle. Is everybody writing this right now? Have you already written this, sir? Be sure that you have. Right angle equals 90 degrees. Then what if we have an angle that is, well, not 90 degrees, but something a little bit less than 90 degrees? We would call that a cute little angle. See what I did there? Acute. And it equals something that is less than 90 degrees. It could be 89. It could be any amount less than 90 degrees, but all the way down to 1, not 0. Okay, so we have right angle 90, we have acute angle less than 90, and then we have an angle that is greater than 90. If you already know the name of this, say it to me now. Obtuse. When you are looking at an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, you know it is an obtuse angle. It equals greater than 90 degrees. So could it be 90 degrees? No, it could not. If it's 90 degrees, it's called a right angle. And now for the last note that I want everyone in this room to write, I want you to give yourself, I should say second to last, I want you to give yourself a plotted point, but I want a straight line to go straight through that plotted point. And what do you think that angle is called based on the straight line? It is a straight angle. Please write the word straight. Now let me ask you something. What would you get if you put two 90-degree angles back to back on this vertex?
180.
You would get 180 degrees. Excellent. So please write equals 180 degrees. Then you have one last angle that you might not have thought of in your life. What if you had a plotted point, and instead of being able to see an actual angle, all you can see is this? Watch, class. My blue line is the first ray, and this red line is the second ray. Do they even have any degrees of separation? No. So how many degrees would you call this?
0.
Please write 0, and that always equals exactly 0 degrees. I like using my rulers as an example. Class, name this angle.
Right.
Quickly as you can, name this angle.
Acute.
Name this angle.
Obtuse.
Name this angle.
Straight.
Name this angle.
0.
When it folds directly upon itself, it is always going to be 0. Excellent job on that. Now let's continue and look down below and learn about how we can name angles. An angle can be named using 3 capital letters. Count them, 3. These letters come from 3 points labeled on the angle, 1 point from the vertex, and 1 point from each ray. Do you get the idea that earlier on these lines, this is a ray, this is a ray, this is a ray, this is a ray? Are you all with me? Each piece that helps to make up an angle is called a what, class? Ray. You got it. Okay, so for example, when you are labeling them with letters, the middle letter must be the vertex of the angle. In other words, that's the plotted point where the angle of the 2 rays meet. Do you follow? Wave at me if you're the middle sibling in your family. Is anybody a middle child in your family? I am not, so my hand is down. I'm the firstborn bossy one of the bunch. Do you deal with a bossy one at your house? Yeah, probably. Okay, if you are a middle child, now let's pretend for a moment you're a middle child of 3. If we're going in birth order, we would name your older sibling first, right? And then we would name you. And then we would name the baby of the family always gets their way, am I right? Yes. Okay, but if we named you in reverse birth order, we would name the baby of the family first. Oh wait, where do you still belong? In the middle. And then who would we name last? The oldest. It's the same way for the naming of the lines. So let's do this now. I should say of the angles. Let's pretend that we are naming this random angle. Okay? We're going to pretend the oldest in the family, they were born first, so their name is A. We're going to pretend that you are the middle child, whether you are or not, so your name is B. What letter is born third? C. What number might I use to indicate this angle? I'm just going to use 1 because it could be letters, it could be numbers. So there are 4 ways to name this angle. You're about to write all 4. Let's start first with the number. What angle could this be called? Number 1. So class, write an angle symbol. Notice how it looks a lot like a less than symbol, but this piece is level on the line. So angle 1. That's the first way you could write the name of this angle. Or I could name it by the middle child letter that is directly next to it. What letter is that, class? So please write it also as angle B. Now I'm going to name it in birth order from the child born first to the middle child, who's always going to be in the middle, to the baby of the family. So if I do it in that order, class, I will do angle what? Say it together. A, B, C. Where does the middle child always belong? In the middle. Now name these angles in order from the youngest to the oldest. Ready, begin. Angle CBA. Now notice in my picture here. Angle 1, angle B, angle A, B, C, or angle C, B, A. Do you see how when we trace, going from the first to the second to the last letter, we always touch that angle vertex when? On the second letter, on the middle letter. Are you following? Okay, so I want you all to go over to the very next page, and I want you to go to, sorry, let me delete this evidence here. Nobody saw that. All right, everybody go to example 1, name the angles right now. Example 1, name the angles. First class, tell me, should you check mark angle 1, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, check mark angle 1. It's the very next page, turn the page. Should you check mark something that says angle X, yes or no? No. That's not the middle child. If it ever goes by one letter, it has to be the middle child letter. Are you following? Okay. Can it go by angle Y?
Yes.
Yes. Find that and check mark it. Can it go by angle Z? No, it's not the middle child. Can it go by angle YXZ? Yes or no? No. The middle child has to stay in the middle. Can it go by angle ZYX? Yes, because the middle child stayed in the middle. Can it go by angle XYZ? Yes, because the middle child stayed in the middle. X, Y, Z. And that's it for this part. Thank you so much.